exactly who you're talking about.
All right, welcome. If you're joining us, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. This is just a recording. Oh my god! It's taking too much time. No, okay. So if you're joining us, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. We're gonna get into our session today, which I believe is session 23, right?
Yeah.
23. We're getting up there in our session numbers for sure.
You can't see me, but I just dabbed.
Yeah. I got you.
Thanks for the update, bud.
Thanks
You're welcome.
Okay, so we're gonna get right into combat here with the siege of Fort Feren. I do need to adjust. I need to adjust the clock here because we are in the middle of night on this particular day, and you're now going to see relevance of the clock. Like I said, I hope things don't change with concentration, but they probably will. Oh no, that's going to be a problem, isn't it? Is it going to remove concentration under a bunch of stuff? It probably will. I'm hoping it doesn't. It's going to do it. That's fine. We're going to have to deal it. Oh, it doesn't do it. Yes. Fantastic. Oh, my heart.
What a roller coaster, man.
That was a roller coaster. I can't have all this stuff just ending. Jeez. Okay. So we're in the middle of the night. We have Perfect Vision enabled, so your dark vision is going to actually look gray now instead of having colorations. So Perfect Vision is up and running, which adds to that, as well as the new version of Foundry changes the lighting effects to make them look better, more smoother. And then we now also have scene visibility and like tremor sense and certain things, which will come into play eventually. All right, so start our combat out. I'm going to get the sound effects going, but while we do that, Zeph, I need you, I'm going to put a channel divinity back onto you, and I need you to do your shroud, because I need to see the aura effect. So the effect of the animation is still there. There's just no macro. I've disabled the macro because it was creating a lot of errors, a lot of problems. So I've just disabled the macro. We're going to have to automatically roll a health for Twilight Sanctuary. I know, everybody, it's so sad, but you know what? Honestly, it's very Oh, it's working! What is happening? What? Will it work? I'm getting so many. I'm getting. I don't know. I'm not getting any errors yet.
Oh,
but
interesting. I did get a blue bar saying it was applied. So
you know what? We're gonna fly with it. If everything just breaks and shits on itself, we'll just fly. Because I want to see. It might work. Who knows?
To that moment when you expect everything to break.
Yeah, and then I'm going to go ahead and give you back a second level spell slot here. If you want to go ahead and target yourself, and then click Spirit, the spiritual weapon, and then place it. I believe it's up here somewhere. Also, your ping tool is defaulted now. It's version 10.
Exactly right there, actually.
I'm going to keep pinging it. So yeah, pings are defaulted down Foundry, so you can get your little cool ping going. So you should still be able to target yourself, and then cast the spiritual weapon out.
Yeah.
I'm going to drag it real quick, and then I believe that I can change it just like we were doing before to a bonus action, which is what I had it, and it should still work.
Dude, that spiritual weapon's doing a jig.
All right. Yeah. We will figure out when we get to the rolls if it works or not. So we can, because it has a long way to move before it gets hit anything on the field of play. Anyways, it has to fly a long way.
Oh man.
So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna get my sound effects going here. Make sure I'm with that. Yep, still logged in. So we have a strong rain effect.
Oh yeah, it is raining.
We have siege music happening. Siege stuff.
Interesting.
Gonna be a good session, guys. I'm feeling it.
Burn down a few things here.
Don't you say that and then betray us, you son of a bitch.
Honestly, it's gonna be a good session if I'm hoping that that macro actually works. It'll be super fun.
Question.
Yeah, it's not working.
The Argon thing switched its layout for the spiritual weapon, and now I don't know how to get back to my character.
You're gonna have. It's just like me with Argon, and it's exactly how my token HUD action worked. You have to click your token.
That's what I'm doing.
And it doesn't do it.
Oh wait, I should probably not be on target. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, okay. When I switched back and forth from the Echo, I had to click around a bit. It took a couple.
Oh no, I had the select target thing just selected instead of like token
selecting. Yeah,
gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you. It's the same way with the token HUD before, right? You have to like click the actual token to get the HUD to pop up. It's the same thing with Argon. That's just more intrusive and obtuse. So it's like kind of like, oh man, I got to cycle through. My best thing, honestly, is because of the way you can use the token HUD for the actions. Once you use the spiritual weapon, that actually should be listed underneath it. If it's not listed underneath it because it's a bonus action, then I can change it to an action, and then it will. And you don't actually need to click that token; you just need to right-click the token. So it technically shouldn't change your Argon, but it might. We'll see. We'll take it in stride. We're in the thick of it now. All right, top of round 7. Wow, we got a ways to go. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Where are you?
All right, so Varus, you begin to enchant, invocating your magic. You use your Magnify Gravity. As you throw it up onto a well space, it forms into a tiny epicenter, then sprouts upwards, sucking the creatures into the epicenter of that gravity well that you've kind of created. Upon doing the damage as such, you can see that 2 of the creatures are fell, so they kind of get sucked into brittlements of bones, begin to break apart, and then the other one takes the full brunt of damage, and as such falls prey to that effect, which is essentially nullifying or halving their speed. So for the sake of it, I'm going to put a grappled effect just to showcase that, which is, I think, what I was doing before, but not. You also see that the last thing you've done as far as the spell is showcased. So there is going to be a little Magnify Gravity icon on your token.
Yep. And then I'll end my turn there.
All right, ending turn. Zeph, you're up next.
All right. Still, well, as a bonus action, I'm going to do my Steps of Night thing for the first time ever.
Okay.
And I'll just fly about like 20 feet, so...
Okay, so you're going to use your Steps of Night, so you draw on the power as a bonus action. When you're in dim light or darkness, you can magically give yourself a flying speed equal to 1 minute. You can use this a number of times equal to proficiency. I would probably say you are in the dim light. There's some torchlight coming from the wall, and none of the creatures around you have a light as well. So
as long as he's in his sanctuary, he should be in dim light regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put you up to 20 feet. You're also going to see an animation now, showcasing your token is flying.
And then moving this way. Technically, that would all have been diagonal movement rather than up and straight over, but yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So you kind of fly upwards, granting yourself in the shroud. As you do, you begin to flutter forward with your Steps of Night, kind of crafting the dim light that you've created in the space around you. And now it kind of has a sphere right around you, creating that condition. You will now see, for the first time, everybody, you can also see that your token is in the previous spot, as it once was. So there should be like a little bit of a kind of a opaque coloration of your token there. And then you also have the flying effect upon you being 20 feet, so showcase that. Anything else in your turn?
Yeah, moving my spiritual weapon off this 20 feet. There are so many of them. I am definitely I'm leaving my moonbeam where it is, so I'm going to use my action to dash.
Okay.
All right.
Oh. Okay. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay. Gonna go and end your turn there, and we're gonna now come to Thanos. Thanos, I don't know how this is gonna interact with you because you don't have your token visible right now because you're invisibility. So I'm imagining that it's not gonna make a sound, and it's probably not gonna show a circle underneath, which is the case.
That's fair. Yep.
Because then it'll tell everybody where
Yeah. That's fine.
Can't have that.
Can't have that.
I am going to ignore her question about coming home and just kind of move alongside this bat. And I'm going to do Thanos things. And I'm actually going to Hunter's mark her. I'm assuming it's her. I'm actually going to upcast it to 2nd level. Just in case she leaves. And
Oof. It doesn't matter.
no,
Plus
it really
35
did.
to hit.
All right, so you Hunter's Mark. I should maybe have changed the Hunter's Mark because that's a very old one. Yeah, it is. There's a newer, latest one, so we're gonna see if that one actually works. Actually, you know what? For the sake of it, because we're still in the midst of this, I'm actually going to pop that off real quick, and then I'm gonna redo your feature. I forgot that you had the Hunter's Mark on. That's why. And then we have another person with Hunter's Mark in the group, right? Bukar?
Yeah.
Car
Cars,
does,
yeah.
Oath of Vengeance.
Always got to update the MIDI.
Oh, well, your token is actually flying, Zeph. I didn't notice
Yeah,
that.
I just
Yeah.
saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's
pretty
cool.
dope.
Yeah. I literally said that. I was just
I
talking
heard
about
you
it.
say it, but like with the targeting
couldn't-
and everything,
I
it was
couldn't-
it was covered up.
Yeah. You're like, I couldn't believe.
Yeah.
Well, also, if you're zoomed out to see most of this map, the tokens are like.
Tiny.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is Tegan gonna be like the only one in the party that can't eventually fly? Like,
I mean, I guess
This
if
is
you
bullshit.
get polymorph, if you can fly.
All right. You should have the updated Hunter Smart. Go ahead and throw it out for me.
Okay. Let me retoggle my HUD because it didn't show up.
Yeah. You need
Okay.
a power cycle through.
Yep. Got it.
Okay. Go ahead and use it for me. All right. Looks like it did apply and popped out. And I imagine that that's a 1st level spell slot.
Second. I
Second level
upcasted
spell
it
slot.
just in case they leave.
Okay. So just make sure that you have the proper spell slots
Yep.
then. Okay. Just making sure that you
I will.
keep your accurate listing. So you're upcasting the Hunter's Mark upon the target, so you begin to mark them, firing off of your bolts. You kind of sling it there as you fire it in the direction. It kind of hits into the shoulder of the armored figure as it's pointing the great axe in your direction.
All right,
It's not
and I
like-
will take my last shot. Wow.
16
Damn, bro.
also does not land as you fire off your second shot, hits into the abdomen region, kind of breaks apart in the bolt, showcasing the armored figure.
good thing I got my bad rolls out of the way last night.
I know, right? I'm gonna 10-foot step slide down behind this log here, and I will end my turn there. As soon as
Okay.
I figure out where my combat tracker went. There we go.
All right, Lucar, you're up next.
Okay, so I'm going to look at this near-death zombie here, and then look up at the guys on the ramparts with the crossbows still, and just walk away from it. Oh Jesus!
You can deal with that
That's
real quick if you want. Oh, yeah, we're dealing with
She's okay. It's just my neighbor has a new dog, and she does not like it. Ugh.
Gotcha.
All right, so I'm gonna step away from him, take whatever opportunity attack he tries.
Okay.
Fuck it, I don't care.
Flank this
Turns and looks in your direction. So if you ever want to know how to turn your tokens, which is not relevant to the portraits, if you actually click and you hold down R, you will get a spinning thing, and that'll allow you to spin your token around. Clicking your token, holding down R, you'll see a little arrow. You can spin it around. All All right, it looks into your direction as you made way, and it's going to go in for an attack of opportunity to hit you with its meaty fist. That is going to miss as it bounces into your heavily armored shoulder. Lucar, anything else on your turn there as you make way?
Oh yeah, I'm stabbing.
All right, stabbing away. Go for it.
Although I guess I should have held out.
You actually can't get a flank with the soldiers based on the fact that the soldiers are in formation and fronting in a shield wall currently, so they're actually turning themselves. It does not provide a flank to you, and they haven't really registered that you're on the other side yet. That will apply the flank if they turn. They get flanking themselves as well. 16 with the Banded Barathun hits. You deal 15 points of slashing damage as you crash into the leg of the creature, breaking it apart.
And one more.
Okay, go for 24. 24 is going to hit as well. 18 points of slashing damage dealt. Coming across on the other leg.
And that will end my turn.
All right, ending your turn, we will now come to Maldor.
Ominous sound. We're going to start cleaning up the bony boys.
Yeah, where's the undead on the tracker?
We never had the undead on the combat
Yeah, they're
tracker.
not on the
right.
tracker.
Yeah, we did
I
not.
thought we had something representing them.
I believe we had something representing them, if I recall, but it was invisible, and I've removed it. I have the initiatives written, I think. All right, and 11
We are
is
rolling great.
swinging. It's going to miss. The creature then begins to turn into your direction as it rotates its body.
Oh, try it again.
Going across for a second swing from your current position. 26 is going to hit as it lowers itself down. Kind of a gore. You take the advantage, taking the kind of great axe, bam, right into its skull with a large impalement, dealing 14 points of slashing damage.
And why not? We will use our last Unleash Incarnation and try to finish this guy off.
Nice. 27. It's going to hit as well as you come back around with the axe, swinging wildly into its leg. You break apart pieces of its femur and tibia as you're coming up through the axe, but the creature is still alive as it falls down slightly. It's over.
Well then. That's gonna... hold on. Yeah, that'll end his turn.
Okay. Ending turn. Tegan, you're up next.
Alright. I'm gonna look at this lizard folk, licking his lips after digging into Varus, and just say, okay, we need to go. I'm gonna tap him on the shoulder, and Buddy's gonna Dimension Door.
Okay. So you are going to take Varus on the Dimension Door?
Yes.
Okay. It's explosion! Dimension Door! I'm always surprised that they assign damage to Dimension Door.
Oh, I'm so confused. Anyway.
Dimension Door does damage if you're like going into an object after this fact.
Yeah, I'm
so
gonna fly straight into the wall. No.
Yeah, where are you going with the Dimension Door?
We will go. Right here. On the wall up here.
Okay, I see it. Just you can Dimension Door to the east, right? It's open field. There's open grass, open places. Just because the map is creating you can't go there does not mean you don't. You can. I just want to make sure that that's a relevant option to you. We can always just adjust like token elevations. Or things like that.
Yeah, well, my mindset is we're kind of in a good position, and I want to keep Varus in the fight. So
keep Varus in the fight. Get on the other side where the friendlies are.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna move your tokens in context.
And bonus action, I'll see Lucar down there, and I'll just say, "Hey, there you are, buddy!" Give him bardic inspiration.
I wouldn't survive, right?
All right, so go ahead and throw on the bardic inspiration, and then, like I said, I'm just gonna go through the effect after the fact to make sure that it's consistent. With
And
the
then
instant.
that'll do it.
Fantastic. We have a D8, right?
Yep.
All right. The correct one has been applied, so that should be relevant when you roll. Now comes Commander Remar Luna. Commander Remar Luna is going to step forward, see the token in front, and then go in for swings, because that's what the commander is going
Swingy.
does best. First strike with the battle axe is 24. Swing across wildly, 13 points of slashing damage dealt, crashing the creature through the back of the skull, through the neck, as it reaches itself upwards and smashes through a pile of bones and gore. Commander then is going to sidestep, continue its movement, and go in for a series of 2 strikes in this creature with the axe and the shield raised. 26 is going to hit as it comes across, up strike with the axe, 11 points of damage dealt to the creature, then going in for its last remaining strike here. Top down, left, right, 23 is going to hit, 6 points of slashing damage comes through the creature. Raise the shield up, to the south! To the south! It gets to yell out in the direction of that wall, calling for aid and reinforcements from the soldiers on the north side to now begin to peel downwards. This is the point the commander is now kind of looking around, really taking the advantage of the rest of the fight, and realizing that things are progressing as such and that the south needs to be controlled. All right, so we're now going to come to the end of Commander Remar Luna's turn, and that's when the soldiers are going to go, courtesy of what we had before. Now, the dwarfs are not going to go, so it's just the soldiers, right? So we're just moving the tokens for those. So the soldiers are going to be all moving in unison with their various movements, making dashes as they rush to aid the south side of the wall. Those who are on the north side are going to stay on the outside, like the inside, right? They don't want to go outside. They're not scaling the wall at that point. They're just going to continue their movements to move as quickly as possible in their dashes and to rush and aid. So I'm going to move. These are 30 here. And then after that movement, make another 30, 30, and then these are going to get into positions here and positions here. So those are going to be dashes. Those soldiers checking up on the wall. We have our regiment. They begin to clean forward, grouping them, all 4 of them, together as they are rolling their attacks in the direction of the single creature that is between the Echo and Commander Remar Luna on the crown symbol. As they all begin to fire off their volley, only one is actually able to hit the creature. Successful crossbow strike of only 4 points of damage, which isn't a whole lot, unfortunately, but they deal some as they fire off their volley. They also don't move to the south. They don't want to move past the creature. They kind of maintain their positions with their crossbows. All right, so now we're going to look through the rest of the soldiers, and we only have one left, everybody, and it's this lonely person all the way on the south end of the dragon side who's fronting 2 large hulking armored figures as they see on their backdrop the dwarfs, they see the zombies, they see that they are surrounded. They are taking the disengage action as they begin to cycle back to the line as they form up with the soldiers, grouping themselves together as they hold their shield and their battle axe ready to go.
Not as bad as this guy.
Yeah, that one is a little bit of worse shape. All right, we now come to
Stones.
Yeah, we now come to Priest Dumbly Goldbelly. Priest Dumbly Goldbelly is moving their entire movement speed to get up to the lizard-like creatures holding the shield and the warhammer, breathing profusely as they come charging forward. So that's their action to dash. And then as far as their abilities here, they are going to throw on a sanctuary spell onto themselves. I'm going to see if this will work, if I can do it. And will it last on there? Oh, it still prompts for the wisdom saving throw. That's funny. Okay. That's just because I didn't change the spell yet for this particular group. What I'm going to do now, Sanctuary, I'm just going to create a random effect to showcase. Let's do this one. Why not? Okay. All right. That way we can get the Sanctuary up, and have the icon as such. Okay, that's going to be the end of Priest Dumbly Goldbelly's turn. That's their action to dash and their bonus action to throw up Sanctuary on themselves as they run up to the lizard folk to draw their attention, banging on the shield to try to get them to attack the targets. All right. This is actually where we're going to go ahead and get to the Dwarven soldiers. So we have one in the mix of the Draconic symbol here, which is down on the south end. This one is going to take the disengage as they begin to run back into the line. They then form their formation, turning towards the south, raising their shield, and getting ready for the onslaught of what lies there. The rest of them are going to be taking actions at their respective kind of zombified creatures, and then two of which, on the Draconic symbol side, are going to throw off their javelins. So I have 7 d20s to roll. Only 5 of the battle axes are going to hit, so 1 misses, and then the 2 javelins are going to land. Seven points of damage dealt there, 6 points of damage dealt there, 4 points of damage dealt there. We're going to get a bunch of blood. And that is 3 points of damage dealt there. That creature is alive, so even after taking the damage and going forward and dying, they begin to arise, and that is 10 damage there to that creature. Okay. The 2 javelin strikes as they threw them out. Not very much. We have 3 points of damage, and we have 5 points of damage to the heavily armored hulking figures that are filling that gap space. That is going to be it for the Dwarvish soldiers on that side. We're going to now come to the Crown side, as we have 3 Dwarvish soldiers that are running into the aid of Priest Dumbly Goldbelly. So they are going to move their perspective 25 feet. And then upon that, they're going to be making dashes to essentially get around the creatures, but also form a kind of a shield wall on the right flank of the creatures, kind of grouping them together so they can't press further forward off the battlefield. They want to get them kind of in a pinch with the soldiers to the west, right? So if the other ones kind of defeat their zombies, they can turn around. That is going to be the end of their turns, as they took their actions to dash, and there's no bonus or specials they have available at this point in time. Now coming to the halberd. We're going to come to the 3 soldiers that are going to charge forward. One of which is going to get an axe strike, and then the other 2 are going to get javelins. So I'm going to roll those out right now. And they are going to be aimed at... roll twice. That's so nice, but only got 2 rolls there. So the axe hits, so only one of the javelins hits. Yeah, it's telling me I'm taking too long.
TikTok.
5 minutes. It's a 5-minute timer. This is not too bad. I gotta say, this isn't too bad. 4 damage and a total of 11 points of damage with the Divine Javelin and the Axe Swing. We now have the 6 soldiers that are in their battle formation that they're kind of grouped together. This is when it's going to come very interesting, because the 3 on the lead end here. Oh, I know. Oh, it's a doomsday clock. Oh man, that is gonna get a little annoying. Oh boy. Woo-wee. All right. They're gonna take the dodge actions. So these 3 at the lead, they're gonna take the dodge actions. So I'm gonna apply that. So they kind of group their shield walls together, and then the 3 at the back side are gonna take their actions to either throw javelin or swing their axes at their close targets. Only one of the strikes lands, and that is the javelin. And the javelin deals 6 points of damage to the top end target. You now have flanking Lucar with the Dwarvish soldier on the right back side. So that one is now turned and did swing its axe, so it is forming the flank with you in that position. That is going to be the end of the Dwarvish soldiers' turns. We've gone through all of them, and now we are going to come to the monstrous creatures. So we have the zombified creatures that are going to go first. We don't have a whole lot of them. We only have One of which on the crown side, which is just going to walk up to the wall and start banging its meaty fists sitting into the wall, doing literally nothing. We then have on the south side, which is the draconic symbol, the dragon symbol. We do have quite a few of them, and they're really just going to take respective meaty swings at the dwarvish soldiers, which are really heavily armored. But I'm going to go ahead and roll their respective rolls. None of which are able to hit, which does not surprise me. We have two that are still incapacitated in the hypnotic pattern. They aren't going to do anything, so that's going to be the end of their turns. The hulking figures are going to stride up. They have a reach as well, so they're going to kind of come and fill space in attack the dwarvish soldiers. And they will take 2 swings in total at the heavily armored. 2 of which are able to hit. And they are both from the same exact target, which is a horrendous roll, only 17 points of damage. And actually move them 17 points of damage onto that specific dwarvish target on the draconic side. Very low, very meager. Dwarf has kind of implanted themselves with a shield into the ground, taking both those blasts, and is still alive after taking them. We're now going to come to the other 2 on the dragon side, which is the other gap. And they don't really have a target to fixate over, so they're going to now rotate themselves in the direction of the rest, and they're going to now fill gaps with the opposing as they now go in for their series of 4 strikes. Unfortunately, 2 of those is at one of the Feren soldiers, which is a lower armor class. All successive strikes are going to land.
Oof.
He thought he escaped.
He did.
24 total points as that soldier dies. And we have a total of 36 points on the dwarvish soldier, which dies. So both those targets are dead as they're smashed into the ground by the large mornings. The hulking figures come down as they're yelling outwards, crushing into the lines. And then one of which is actually now going to pour forward. That one of the soldiers carry a torch. So that's going to be darker down there.
He was the torch bearer.
He was the torch bearer. Is now going to kind of move forward and fill the space of the creatures that they've just killed. All right. We're now going to come to the top side with the skeleton creatures. I'm going to roll a save, because 2 of which are in the moonbeam on the top side, which is nearby the Phoenix and the Flame Skull. Go ahead and roll moonbeam damage for me.
Nice.
Both of them are going to succeed on their rolls of their DC. So 20 points total, so they are going to resist that down to 10 with their saves. And they are now going to go in for their strikes. I am also going to lessen. They have 2 attacks apiece. So I'm going to really roll the dice out here to see which ones are going to be less. They're attacking dodge targets. Disadvantage, those miss, and then I'm going to go for the other 2, which are not attacking the dodge targets. They're going to attack the back line. Only one of them hits with a natural 20. It's 1 too many d12. It's only 2 d12. 12. Okay, that's going to be accurate. And that soldier is crushed into the ground with 33 points of damage on the critical. One of the great axe swings. The other ones are going to miss, so they're bashing so those 4 skeletons actually only are able to get 1 hit off, which is really striking. So it's really showcasing the soldiers forming the shield wall, and it's really kind of that one on the back line to swing its axe. It didn't have the shield raised. The skeleton took the advantage, split it into the ground, into the shoulder, into its body, smashing the dwarf into the ground, healing outwards. We now are going to have 2 attacks in the direction of the commander. I'm going to roll those out. One of which is able to hit, and that is going to be the Great Axe. As it comes down upon the commander, that is going to deal a total of 15 total points to the commander, which is barely a dent. We have, on the dragon side, we have 2 of the skeleton figures, one of which can only use half of its movement speed, so it's actually going to get to here, which is going to be enough. And then we're going to have this one kind of wrapping around. which is now going to take a dash to get to this part. So that's going to be a dash action, and the other one that moved half its movement speed is going to go in for 2 strikes at the Dwarvish soldier in front of it. One with the gore and one with its axe, swinging at them. The gore is going to land. And that is going to prompt a strength saving throw. Okay, so that one takes 18 points of damage dealt and is knocked prone from the gore condition. And that is going to be the end of the skeleton creatures. We now come to the lizard folks. The reason why I had them kind of come at the end, like I said, they're really mixed match with their initiatives. The lizard folks are kind of going first there. Having them go at the back line here because they are going to attack Priest Dumbly Goldbelly upon coming forward. They're really drawn into that, and so they both need to prompt saves to be able to do that. And they both are going to fail. They're kind of coming across with their spears and with their bites and attempting to attack the Priest Dumbly Goldbelly. As the Shroud of Sanctuary opens up, they're unable to penetrate through that, and they seem awfully fixated with the dwarf upon charging forward. Maybe it's the fact that the Mangonels themselves, right, are not functioning anymore. That was their primary task, and at that point, they really seem to be focused on the cleric. All right. Now come to
I
the
accidentally deleted my token.
What? How did that happen?
So,
God damn it, Varys.
my
Discord
Discord
don't do that.
hotkey. Well, no, my Discord hotkey for mute is delete, and I've never had a situation where hitting delete did anything.
So I put you back on the board. You will need to
Okay.
probably refresh. This is probably going to be
Alright.
the same thing with Thanos there. Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No,
I
you're
was
good.
choking, and I didn't want y'all to have to listen to that. So I hit delete, and then my screen went black, and I was like, "Oh no!"
All right. So now we're going to come into the armored figure with the stag horns and the bat. So the bat now revealed to you, Thanos. The bat has, in similar fashion of its detection, it seems to detect you. It can still see you, so it's going to follow you with its vision, and had that telepathic communication. Again, reaches out to you. Don't resist it, and then begins to kind of move with this necrotic shouts. It's very much visceral in the way that it's moving and kind of shifting with the light as it does. It kind of moves 5 feet, and then after that happens, it goes invisible on its own, completely disappearing from your line of sight.
Just having a party over there.
The armored
Private
figure
party.
points the axe towards you and lets out a shrieks as it raises the axe towards you and begins to move it wildly up into the air. That was foolish, as it yells into your direction, still staring at you, which is now going to reveal the hulking, large, massive creature that has been moving itself through the foray for a period of time. I'm going to go ahead and showcase to you all after I reveal tokens.
I am in a very bad spot.
Is that a treant?
2 of these hulking armored figures are wielding chains that are strapped and anchored into the bark of a massive tree. This tree spans well over the canopy of the smallwood, and it's roughly about 90 to 100 feet or so in its actual height. It's massive. As it's moving, it is slow, but it also showcasing that it can go far reaches with its movement, which kind of is playing with your eyes of seeing the shadows, and then all of a sudden it's closer, and all of a sudden it's closer, right? So the shackles are not being pulled on. They're just kind of being moved with it. It seems that the tree itself might be either A, moving of its own accord, or B, being forced and just feels like it has to do this. It's unclear. It does not show any sort of emotions. You can't really see a face at this range, Thanos, as well. It's just the mass of this bark. This tree resembles a redwood. This is a redwood tree. Very much in that same exact description with its bark. The stag-like figure, after waving the axe into the air, as turns as it does, it begins to move up to the base of the tree, takes out the axe, thunks the axe directly into the tree. As that happens, the bark epicenter from the axe begins to splinter and crack and turn black, and very much in the exact same turn as the tree and as the armored figure's turn, You can see that the pops and the cracks, the tree begins to change its actual coloration and its shape as it begins to take on a new form and a new appearance. I will now circle to...
Oh, shit.
Hey, remember when we thought we were winning? And
We're still winning. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we don't know any of that's there.
Dude, there's no way that tree's getting past the fire.
I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure I see all this shit. Just
Well, you're not.
I imagine we could all-
I would imagine you're not looking over there.
We can probably all see the redwood. I don't know about anything else.
I mean, you all have 300 feet of whatever, right?
Yeah. It's
Well,
kind of hard to not see the
yeah.
giant tree.
Yeah.
also the loads of
Pretty
noise.
sure,
making.
pretty
come
sure
on.
he said it was 90 feet tall.
Do it.
90 to 100
Alright, give
feet.
me
Yeah.
1 second.
It's pretty tall.
File browser's a little bit changed. Okay. Should be changed. on your screen.
Oh,
No way,
Okay.
motherfucker.
So as it begins to crackle and
Demonic
pop
group.
with a black popping sound, right? The bark itself is black. It begins to bleed acid from the sap, and as well as its face and visceral of its actual treetop begins to change, forming in a mass of itself. Now the token is obviously very exaggerated. It's not holding a giant mallet in its hand. But it has the capabilities with its massive brambles, showcasing that it has arms. Like it now pulls itself from its bark, right, and showcases that it does have 2 appendages that would resemble arms. In addition, its tears from its face are like crying, right, of that acid. So acid's like dribbling around it, just like hitting into the ground as it is. It's like burning and acidifying the ground around it. As it does, it turns in the direction as it lowers its kind of head or its tree structure at the armored figure, as the armored figure kicks off the axe and then looks for one final line to you. Last chance. Spawn of Osiris, come home. And that is now going to cycle through to the top of round 8.
Shoot her in the face, Thanos!
All right. With my turn, I'll start working my way down the wall again. This way.
Okay.
And I will.
To be
Fire.
fair, did you lose mage armor when you deleted your token? Because you had mage armor up, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't? Okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah, and I will firebolt this one right here with the that he's in combat with.
Slinging a firebolt off. I do want to state you don't have disadvantage. That condition should be... I should have removed it for you on the start of your turn. My bad. Or the end of your last turn.
Okay.
So you don't have disadvantage. So 9 is going to be the roll, though, because that's the first roll. So 16, it's still going to hit. 16 points of fire damage dealt as you smash into the creature. Pulling bits and parts of its skull. And it's also its kind of shoulder bone just kind of breaks apart as the firebolt lands.
Okay. Well, I was gonna run down here and ask Zeph to get this poison off of me, but feeling it kind of get out of my veins, I'll just kind of survey the battlefield, and I'll hold tight in my turn.
Okay. End your turn there. We're now going to get to Zeph. So Zeph, don't believe the macro is working. I don't see any sort of temporary added onto Freestone Lane Edition, but we do have the little symbols, which is actually not a horrible thing.
All right. So, quick note is that I believe I accidentally used 2 bonus actions last turn.
Oh, for the flying as well as...
Yeah. But, doesn't really matter because
You
I was
moved
going
the
to.
sword. I don't know if that's a
Yeah.
bonus action.
That's what you're
Okay.
saying.
Yeah,
You moved the
it's-
sword. I think it's okay. I'm not gonna judge that because I'm trying to think back on your last turn from last session, and you did not move the sword, and so
Yeah.
I think that I'm just gonna say because the sword is so out of play at this point, there's no real feasible way for it to get down here or to.
Well,
attack.
that's what I was going to say is I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot anyway, regardless, because I was going to recast spiritual weapon because rather than slowly get it down here, I'm just going to recast it.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So let me go ahead and I'm just going to remove the summon then, so it should drop and remove the token for that. And then you should be able to target yourself and then recast it.
Yeah. Alright.
Alright, where did we put it? Oh, there it is. Jeez, this map's so dark.
A little hard to see in the dark, but...
Yeah, I'm killing myself here. Alright, so I have it listed as an action instead. It should be a 0, 0 action, so it should still be in the hotbar of the HUD. Let me make sure. And it indeed is. The combat HUD should have it.
Alright. And it says the spiritual weapon is incapacitated.
Incapacitated? So it's not letting it swing? That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Okay. How do I fix that?
That's so
Your
weird.
spiritual weapon a beer mug. It's just drunk.
Maybe I give it some
That
health.
made it
Try
a
it
hit
now.
point?
Let me give it a hit point.
Yeah, that works.
Give it a hit point. Give it a hit point. Okay.
That's
Okay.
hilarious.
Give it a hit point. All right, 25 is gonna hit +7, right? And +4 to your that's perfect modifiers. Okay, comes across 6 points of force damage dealt. So smash into creature.
It just needed a hit point.
That's hilarious.
That is really funny.
I mean, it makes sense, but it's still hilarious. What was I doing? Oh yeah. I'm also going to move. Just a little bit.
Okay.
And then action, I am going to. Where is it? I'm going to Toll the Dead on the same Skelly guy.
Okay.
Nice rolls.
Yeah, 21 damage. Oh, wow, that's big damage. Okay, fail for a fail and takes 21 points of damage. As it does, it begins to splinter and crack. There is no resistance or immunity to necrotic damage from this skeleton creature, so it seems to explode outwards as it hit by kind of that bell ringing in the direction of its skull, and its body, so the bones kind of explode outwards.
Well, lovely plus powder.
All right, we're now going to come to Thanos. So Thanos, it's your turn.
I really wish I had longer to think. I don't.
You got this.
fuck
We'll
up.
we'll take
Kill
care of
the
this
tree.
side of the ditch.
Kill the
You take
tree.
care of that side
Kill
of the ditch.
the tree.
What could possibly go wrong with that, right? I'm going to do Thanos things. I'm going to step 15 feet this way.
Okay.
I'm going to take my shots at the armored figure again. What
Okay,
could
so-
possibly go wrong?
As you step into space, you can see the feeling of the bat is cold and frigid. You've stepped into its space, and the claws begin to move and almost grapple. You need you to make an opposing athletics or acrobatics check, please.
What is with you and stepping into invisible shit and getting captured?
I can't
Could
see
you stop that?
anything.
You have better athletics than acrobatics?
They're the same.
Oh.
I don't have acrobatic proficiency.
All right, you have succeeded. It feels that you're inside of a space and still kind of is around you. Go ahead and go with your normal attack. Okay, turn in the direction, so the advantage is going to be provided to you. 21 is going to hit, 11 and 5. The Hunter's Mark does not, for the upcasting, it is just range, like mile distance of the tracking, right? Okay. 16,
Yeah.
16 points of damage is dealt as the arrow lands into the side. The token then is going to turn and look towards you. As it does, it registers you. No advantage provided. Fire again.
Since I'm invisible, I think it's automatically going to put it on, so we'll just...
Correct. I'm just going to go for the first roll that you have here on the list. It's usually what I did before,
Oh,
which is a natural 1.
Unfortunate.
Nothing bad happens, but you're trying to take, and all of a sudden you're kind of bumped in from the shaft, like the bat actually kind of bumps into you a little bit, nudging as they continue their attempt to grapple you.
Why are
What,
you
15
still
feet of
there,
movement?
man?
I am going to bonus action Gift of Orifice.
Hope this works.
I was going to say the template didn't pop up.
It's there. No, it's there. It's just you can't see it because the lighting changed.
Oh. So if I click... Okay.
Ooh,
Okay,
I
so
saw that.
if you go there, you will not have invisibility. That's a
That is-
lit condition.
Yep, that is completely fine. It's actually what I was going for. Seeing as how everything over here can see me anyway.
The only people who can't see you are us.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I will take the last 15 feet, or what do I have? I have 10. Yeah, 15 feet to move up to the edge of this. Hey guys, a little bit of help over here. And I will end my turn. There.
Okay.
Is that a
Okay,
tree?
guys, it's
Going
going
turn,
bad.
Lucar, you're up next.
I don't think, yeah, like we wouldn't on the wall hear him from way over there, right?
Probably
No, with
not,
all the
but
noise going on.
I think the only people is maybe Lucar and Maldor and the commander. Like anybody on the wall, maybe I would say maybe you two. Yeah, so you know it can be Tegan, right? Tegan and Varys. I can see you hearing that yelling, but mainly Lucar and Maldor would be the ones on the ground hearing because with the rain and yelling.
Right.
Why is the weird bird one yelling at me?
Okay, yeah, so I'm assuming I probably didn't see all of that happening over there because I was engrossed in this fight here, so as I hear him, I look over and jerk, back a little bit, seeing this 90-foot monstrosity standing across there. And then I'm going to see if I can finish off this one that I'm fighting
Okay.
first.
It's going to prompt you for the Bark Inspiration as usual. The advantage still went through with the hotkeys. Again, like I said, everything's still trying to function as normal here. 23 is going to strike through. 16 points of slashing damage is dealt as you come across the back leg of the creature, smashing into it. It turns and looks in your direction. Second strike. Still no use of the Bark Inspiration. 25 is going to hit, and 16 points of slashing damage dealt. The creature is kind of coming towards you, turns and looks, raises its head down, similar fashion to like Maldor as did before. You come across for upper strike, bashing into its lower jaw.
I am going to use a level 1 smite as well.
All right, tacking on a smite, you can add another D8 to it because it isn't undead.
Nice.
Let's go.
So you can manually roll another D8 for me, please.
Jesus, these rolls.
7 points of radiance. That is going to be enough as you come through of the creature. 7 points of damage dealt. The creature is going to be defeated as you come through and smash into it.
And then I'm going to approach the other side of Thanos here. And end my turn.
Okay. Ending turn. We now come to Maldor.
So, having heard the commotion, looked back and surveyed what was going on, he's just going to shout to Thanos, "Bring them to us! We fight them on our terms, not theirs!" And he's going to continue to try and clean up the wall so that the Ornery can actually help us. Attacking from the Echo.
Okay. All right, 17 from the Echo's position is going to hit. That deals a total of 18 points of slashing damage. The creature falls backwards onto its hind back end as you smash into one of its leg. Kind of cackles and moves its jaw around, kind of arcing its head to potentially turn, taking the advantage that's still in other facing. 24 is going to hit 25 total points of slashing damage, taking the axe and smashing through its back, cleaving into its spine and to the ribs. The creature is dead.
All right. The Echo is going to move. Might be closer to that. He clipped through the wall. We're going to bonus action Rope-a-Dope.
Rope-a-dope engaged!
Whoop.
Rope-a-dope.
All right, and then he's got 15 feet left, so he is going to move there, and then end his turn.
Okay. Ending turn. You don't necessarily need to worry
I can
about
now
the,
delete the echo.
You can now delete the echo. We also don't need to worry about the rope-a-dope too much because it saves your previous position for a little bit.
Oh,
there.
right. Yeah, that's right.
So if you ever fall and like, oh, we forgot the rope-a-dope, we can actually know where you were.
We're gonna absolutely throw a wrench in my plan, Maldor. Now I can't shatter.
Shatter! I want to shatter! All right,
I'll take it. It's fine.
It's fine, you know, moonbeam, shatters, they all just get in the way at the end of the day.
Alright, I got permission. No, what else could I do?
You can heal me.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. You're good. You look good.
Don't you have
Not even poison
potion
anymore.
health?
Huh?
Don't you have a health potion?
I do. Yeah, I was joking.
I'll slap Varys with the cure wounds. Why not?
Okay.
All right. Give a good little
He's
slap.
joking, but he'll take it. He's literally going to slap it.
Where's this ass?
He
Where's
heals.
this ass slap at? Is that what
Hey,
you're doing?
take it.
Hey, wow, max healing there. 13 points coming
Nice.
to you. Nice.
I'm almost full health again. Thank you, Tegan.
Wake your ass up. Start shooting shit.
I don't know if you've noticed. I've shot a lot of shit.
I haven't.
You know, fireball would be really nice for the giant fucking tree.
You also
Ben-
ignored the bottom part of the wall.
There's only so many of us. The soldiers got to carry some weight somewhere. The middle wall is untouched except by a zombie, I would like to point out.
Yeah, that's true.
Of course, Maldor is 65 feet away.
Don't give it to me.
Oh, is everyone too far from you? Rip.
Just lean 5 feet. That's fine.
I'm gonna give bark inspiration to the last member of Maldor's squad. No, I'm kidding.
I think you're
You
surrounded
can always
by
give it to
Maldor's
the
squad.
commander.
Yeah, you could.
Commander does some work. I don't know if they need it, though. But.
I mean, they have 3 attacks. Jesus Christ.
This commander is pretty cool.
How come none of you are a druid? I feel like that would be really helpful right now.
I almost played that.
Anti-tree.
We're coming into questions right now, for sure.
What were we thinking?
Why isn't anyone natural? Where's the
I should've-
fireballs? We wasted them.
I should have prepared Blight is more of the issue here.
Right.
No, what?
Yeah, Tegan's just gonna kind of look around, see everybody's out of earshot, and he's just gonna look at the commander and go, "You got it, man."
The most lackluster
Solid
bardic
choices.
inspiration.
Solid
You
choices.
got it, man.
You got it, man.
It's a good thing you made an infantry, like I told you.
Turns around, looks to you. Gives you a look.
Doing great, kid.
You got a friend.
You got it, man.
Anything else, Tegan? Alright. Now we come to the Commander Remar Aluna. Commander sees the tree into the distance, realizes that the mangonels are not operational right now, which is a huge problem. Get the mangonels back up! Get this They kind of putting in place and position. I mean, the creatures on the south side, they're filling where the mangonel currently is. I've removed the tokens on the board, but the hulking figures are literally right on the mangonel. So that themselves have kind of crumpled and destroyed that mangonel. Mangonel is completely unusable. But the north side is still there. And I'm actually going to go ahead and move the token and reveal it back. That is where it was, and it's still there. It just doesn't have anybody currently on it. The commander then looks in the direction of soldiers, sees that there's 3 that are there, and remember how many were required to function this, a total of 6. Sees the 3, and then sees the regiment on top of the wall, You lot! And you down there! Begins to call out names. Take the mangonel! Get on it! Fire at the damn fucking tree! Begins to yell. And it's at this point, they look towards you, Maldor. The soldiers. They turn and they look at you. Commander. They wait for your report.
Yes. As he said.
It's time! We can yell outwards. And they are now headed in the direction of the mangonel as fast as quickly as possible. Commander
I hope they're loading because they have no idea how that thing works.
Commander then is going to move and jump off of the wall. Coming in for a strike towards the hulking figure, slowing their descent and their momentum down as they come in for a series of strikes. First one going through needs the Bardic Inspiration, so I'm going to go ahead and apply it.
Really bad on your knees.
Deals a total of 10 points of damage to the hulking figure, then going through for 2 more strikes. Second strike coming through 20 is going to connect, and that deals a total of 12 points of damage, and then it's going to go for the third strike, and then it's going to be a natural 1.
Oof.
Your swing comes in, now falling downwards, is unable to slow their descent down, and they land into the ground. Old age. Unfortunately, they've used most of their movement, and they cannot pick themselves up. Spurred position. All right, soldier time. All right, 17th Regiment. They're now going to lower themselves down. That's a total of 15 at that point, and then they're going to dash into their respective positions. That one's only going to be get to there. So they are all kind of going into the direction of that. Let's use my cool arrow thing to turn them. And then the other 3 that are up there on the halberd symbol, they're going to fill onto the other side. Using their dashes. So unfortunately, they don't have their actions to reload and fire at this round. But they will be able on the next round. So they are now loading the mangonel, getting the rocks and certain things in. This mangonel will be functional at the start of the next round, which means they'll take their turn in a similar fashion where they were before. The rest of the soldiers are going to continue to proceed filling gaps. So this one is going to move there, and then the other blessed one is now going to fill that gap. We're going to have a series of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 strikes from these soldiers down here. So I'm going to go ahead and roll those out right now, and then assign damage to the real respective targets. Okay, all 3 are going to, no, 2 of which are going to hit the zombified creature. 1 misses the zombified creature, which is really sad. And they just barely, they just barely deal damage to it, which is very interesting. I'm not sure why that put prone. Get that off there. I've noticed that when I try to do damage manually, it tries to like associate it with a condition, which is super strange. They're going to do just the proper amount of damage, and that creature dies outright as they smash it into the ground. The combined effort of those 3 soldiers on the draconic side, the north side of that formation. Now, the last one that I rolled was a natural 20, and that was aimed at one of the actual lizard folks that's there. And so they are going to be rolling their damage with a critical here, and getting max damage on the critical strike. They do a total of 17 points of damage, and of course I'm getting yelled at right now. That is going to be the end of the soldiers there. There's no more soldiers take their turns, and now we'll come to Priest Dumbly Goldbelly. Priest Dumbly Goldbelly is now going to kind of move forward, wrapping around 5 feet, continuing to maintain the sanctuary as they take no hostile action. And now we get to see if this is going to work. I'm hoping it does. As they throw out an aura. I want to make sure. Yeah, I can do it. They're going to end their concentration on Bless. And they're going to throw out an Aura of Life. Okay, you should be able to see kind of a spinning circle signifying that aura. There is no active effect with this. It's really, there's just nothing in existence of what this can do. But this is almost similar to Spirit Guardians in a sense. However, it's kind of this visage of sparkling, little dazzling, bright, tiny lights, little white lights that are all around, filling the aura that's emanating outwards. Priest Dumbly Goldbelly is speaking and chanting celestial, raising the warhammer into the air. So the aura is going to move with Priest Dumbly Goldbelly. Each non-hostile creature in the aura has resistance to necrotic damage, and its hit point maximum can't be reduced. In addition, a non-hostile living creature regains 1 hit point when it starts its turn in the aura with 0 hit points. That means any creature that dies that's non-hostile is immediately going to get right back up. So it's a very, very handy thing to have here as they begin to erupt it, moving outright, taking their action to do so. Sanctuary is still imposed because there's not a kind of a combat or a hostile action taken it's imposing, so the Sanctuary is still up there for Priest Dummy Goldbelly, and that is going to be the end of Priest Dummy Goldbelly's turn. We're now going to have the soldiers here on the the east side. They're going to take their respective attacks at the lizard folks as they begin to smash away. All 3 are going to be able to hit as they do, 2 of which onto one target and 1 onto the other. That target is cleaved for 15 points of damage and dies outright, and then the other lizard folk, which is the last remaining here, is going to take a total of 8 points of damage and is still alive. Come to the formation. The formation is really just going to swing as best as they can, one of which is going to pick themselves up from the Gore Strike so they can swing normally. They're going to get a total of 7 attacks off at their respective targets. Five hits. And we now come to the last 3, which all hit their targets, 2 which are sent into a large hulking figure for 12, and then the zombified creature is hit for 12 points of damage and dies outright as a maximum hit, with 2 combined. So 2 went onto the hulking. They kind of went downwards in their order with their attacks, doing very, very good work there on the necrotic side as numerous of the zombified creatures are dead. As they swing outright, and they seem to not rise up when they have dropped dead. All right, now we come to the dwarfs on the north side with the halberd. They are going to funnel in their space and begin to go in for a series of strikes. They're all now going to attack, so they're going to end their dodges, and they're all going to swing at targets. Five connect. And it's not the ones throwing the javelins, which is super handy.
Oh no.
No, it's eating me up. 16 points of damage to the skeleton on the north side. 12 points of damage to that one, and then a solid 7 points of damage. 7 points of damage to that skeleton there. That is going to be the end of the dwarfs' turns. There's nothing else to come to for the dwarfs. Now I'm going to go ahead and clear board.
Timed perfectly.
That was magical.
How dare you delete those tokens?
Now we're going to get to the enemy's initiatives here. So we're going to have the one lizard folk who's, I'm going to start with them. They're going to try to continue to attack Priest Dummy Goldbelly. Is going to be able to get through the sanctuary at this point, and then is going to go for their respective attacks on Priest Dummy Goldbelly, one of which is a natural 20, and is the Spear Strike, not the Bite. The Bite is actually going to cleave into the shield to Priest Dummy Goldbelly, and the Spear Strike is out.
Oh, he probably would. He should have some temp HP from my thing.
He does. I can roll more though. Let's see. He has 9 temporary HP. What's the what is, I think it's D
1d6 plus my cleric level. Cleric level.
Cleric level. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. 7. Yeah, we can see if it goes higher, because it's only going to replace if it goes higher. 10.
Yeah.
Yes, it goes plus 1 more. We're going to 10. Here we go. Spear Strike coming through. That is going to be a 7 points of damage, because I rolled the damage. So 7, then 8, 15 total, because it's the critical. It's going to prompt for concentration. Concentration succeeds. It's going to be it for the lizard folk. We have 4 of the armored hulking figures, one of which is going to turn in the direction of the commander, and another one is going to turn in the direction of you, Maldor. They're going to go for their series of their 2 strikes, 2 of which towards the commander, and then 2 of which towards you. I'm going to roll 2. I'm going to roll them separately here, because one of which is getting the advantage, so I get to roll 4, based on the commander
On the one
being
that's
prone.
attacking the commander, I will take a sentinel attack.
Okay, go ahead. That's the one right next to you.
Where did my combat HUD go? There it is.
Oh no.
We are rolling amazingly tonight.
All right, 12 is unable to attack as you come swinging at the armored body coming into the shield on the left side, not able to penetrate through. Commander Remar Luna takes a total of 41 total points of damage from both those 24 strikes, smashing into him into the ground. Maldor, both of these strikes from the other one are miss you. You're able to use the kind of covering of the shield that you've just bashed into to pull the shield with the great axe and kind of coming in with both attacks into those, so they're unable. The dwarvish soldiers are going to have an onslaught as these 2 begin to work through the lines. They are able to get 2 successive strikes on 2 independent targets. Of the dwarfs on the south side of the triangle symbol on those lines, it's not looking very pretty for the dwarfs. One takes a total of 19 points of damage and dies, and the next one takes a total of 27 points of damage and is dead. Both those dwarfs dying from the onslaught. They then are going to continue to move in, filling into space.
Oh, he was just outside the aura too. Poor guy.
One of which is in the aura.
Oh, is he in the aura? I couldn't tell. It was on a corner.
One of them is in the aura, the other one is not. It's a 30-foot aura. I'm actually going to say the other one's in, because now I'm measuring the tool. I think he's 30. I think that one is 30 feet away.
Yeah, as the
aura.
crow flies.
Yep. Yeah, he's in range. Nice. Okay. Fantastic. So, unfortunately, it's not their turn, but they will regain, so I'm going to go ahead and leave their tokens on the board to signify that I'm going to have to put their life back up. Okay. Skeletanoids. I believe we have the 3 on the north side. We're going to start with the single one on the south first. 2 attacks on the dwarvish lines, a gore and a great axe swing. Both of which are able to connect. It's fantastic. So it's going to maintain its position, roughly moving 5 feet. It's going to shift on its line. Now coming to the 3. Total of 2 attacks apiece. 2 natural 20s. And 2 of the axes are natural 20s. And one of which is an axe hits. Oh, jeez, that's not good. Okay, these dwarfs are not going to live.
Bye, dwarves.
Yeah, they're
Is
not
that is that the ones that would have taken Moonbeam?
Yeah, they are.
With the Moonbeam before they attack or after?
You rolled your Moonbeam damage to be... go ahead and roll Moonbeam damage. I'm guessing that the Moonbeam is not... Oh, actually. Hold on. That was a fantastic roll. I was going to say the Moonbeam probably isn't going to kill them. So I was just going to roll and make things quick. But now that I'm getting at 16. So one of them is going to succeed, which takes 15 points of damage. And the other one takes 30. Wow, okay.
Nice.
So one of the natural 20s does not connect, but the other one is getting the natural 20. Nice. I was going to say, like, there's no way, but I was like, oh, you upcasted it now. And I'm thinking about it. Yeah, you would have been able to kill him. Sorry, my bad.
I'm so glad I did, too.
Yeah, that was good. Okay, so that is only going to hit with the axe. 17, yes, that one is 39 points of damage with the axe is dead. And then we have an axe. Just one more axe strike. Swing through, and that one is hit by 23 points of damage and is dead. Clearing board, save space. Alright, so we've gone through everything but the bat, the tree, and the armored figure. The armored figure is going to step just kind of out of the way. It's going to go 20 feet. It begins to raise a series of shrieks and begins to point with the axe in the direction of the south side.
By the way, is this the only one we see and or hear on the battlefield, or are there more of these things across the ball?
It is the same creature that is emanating its shriek. So it's all one audio source. This is shrieking outwards very repetitively, pointing in the direction of the south side. You see as the tree creature steps maybe 5 feet forward, reaches down, picks up a deciduous tree to its left side. Upon picking up the deciduous tree to its left side, it then is going to throw it.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
My God.
Just casually
shit.
chuck a tree.
I mean, it is 100 feet tall, so, like, so this thing, you know, it could literally just lay down and
It's like a
almost
baseball
flat.
bat.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure the animation is going to work, so give me 1 second. So I just need to make sure it's not going to remove the template or roll the saves, which would be really unfortunate.
Who knows? Maybe it'll help. Maybe it'll hit the dead things.
Uh-huh.
Jesus.
Oh, no.
the precision.
As it takes the tree and it lobs it, rips it up the ground, as it throws the tree in the direction. This tree is not very large, okay? So this is the template is really showcasing to you. These small wood trees are not very big. They're just deciduous 30 to 35 foot trees, right? That's their average. It takes the tree and chucks it, just lobs it in the direction. It's very slow and lumbering as it throws it, and then pulls itself back. The issue as the tree lands is that it is a fucking tree. It does 99 total points of damage. As it does, it smashes into the creatures, and regardless of undead fortitude, it does not matter. The zombified creatures are crushed. They cannot arise because the tree is on top of the bodies. It has literally crushed them. The Aura of Life cannot actually heal these creatures because they've been crushed into the ground. They're unrecoverable.
Oh no.
Only 2 of the dwarfs on the south end of that tree are potentially going to get up with the aura. The rest are going to be underneath the tree in that space and are dead. As the tree crushes into the ground and smashes, you notice that the tree creature then rotates its body as if it's going to pick up another tree and lob it.
What the fuck?
What?
We now come to the top of round 9.
I don't want to play anymore.
So with that, we're gonna go and take our first break. So I'm gonna hit the break time. Let me see.
Teacher, I'm in danger.
Please
Break
don't.
time.
With this break, I will be making a whiskey drink.
Yeah.
All right.
This is not good.
So as we now come to our break, if you're watching the VOD or the video, if you're watching the video, thanks so much. We appreciate watching the session. We're not live, but it's cool, whatever. And we'll be back in 10 minutes or so. So see you in a minute.
Yep.
Bye,
Bye.
comment section.
Bye.
All right, back in the stream view. Nice, works great, cool. All right, welcome back for watching the video. Back from break, so cool. Ill-fated in the Siege of Fort Feren, and there's a giant fucking tree, and it's lobbing trees, which is really funny to watch a giant tree lob other trees. But maybe it's not so funny to all this fucking soldiers that just got crushed alive by the giant tree that have families themselves, and they will never ever be brought back alive. That's not true. They could technically be brought back alive, which could be in the capacities of high-level clerics or paladins. Anyways, so we're going to get right back into combat here, and we are at the start of round 9 with you, Varys. I'm going to go ahead and get our sound effects going here because we need our strong rain and all that good stuff, and I also want to get some new combat music going.
Varys is gonna get the fuck off this wall. How much movement does that take to get off the wall?
It's just 5 additional to what it would be, so 10 to get off.
So 10 there, and then I have what, 10 more feet? Is that how that works? No, 20 more feet. So
well, you have the rest of your movement speed.
I'll move there, and then I'll target the one next to Maldor, and I'll firebolt that dude.
Okay. Natural 20!
Nice.
Hey, let's go.
Nice. 27 points of fire damage just as it lands in the side of the shoulder. It crushes itself downwards to the left really quickly. It sets itself upright. It's still alive.
Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna end my turn.
All right, ending turn. We now come to Zeph.
How dramatic. All right. The action, I'm going to move my moonbeam. That should hopefully take care of those two guys once we're all.
Okay.
Hopefully. Bonus action though. Move and attack.
All right, coming across with the bonus. You should be able to.
Interesting. Doesn't do the right click thing.
Yeah, it's not there anymore. See that?
That's weird.
It is weird.
Yeah.
10. Not going to hit.
Ineffectual.
Come across for a swing. I also don't see it come through, even though you clicked it, which is interesting.
Yeah. That's the second time I did it. I don't know.
I'm going to change the value of what that is real quick, and I'm going to see if that pops up when I do it. Nope, still not. Interesting. That's so creepy. I wonder if there's a way I can manually force it. Oh well. Yeah, 10 is not going to hit into the target as you come swinging away. It seems to bash into the heavily armored plate of the right side of its leg.
I will.
That is a tree, so that template is going to be difficult terrain to get over.
Well,
however,
I am flying.
Yeah, I'm just stating.
Yeah.
If you were on the ground. In addition to that, it can provide cover. So the tree is large enough that you can get 3/4, even total cover, depending if you punch down. But you're kind of flying over the top end.
Yeah. Which these guys probably have reach, right?
They have reach enough to hit you, correct?
I'm going to go up another 5 feet.
Gotcha. Okay. We now come to the token elevator module. You can actually hover over that elevator. You notice you change it manually, but if you actually use your scroll wheel, it should change the elevation. If you have it hovered over, hovered over the 25 and use your scroll wheel, it can actually change it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you're going up to 30.
Oh, right. Anyway.
All right, ending your turn. Yeah, let's go too far. Ending your turn there, Thanos. You're next.
I'm gonna see Lucar kind of running over. Hey, Lucar, watch out for the invisible bat. And I'm going to run back into the fog.
Visible what?
Fuck me.
All right, invisible again.
And I will take my shot. I think it's actually a disadvantage because I'm too far away, but...
Are you shooting at the tree?
No, I'm shooting at her.
All right, you're 35 feet away.
Yep. So that is too far for the hand crossbow so it's disadvantage.
Okay, just go ahead and roll it. It's going to give you advantage, and then I'm going to swap the numbers. Take whatever's lowest. All right, so we have a -4 to the attack. So that is a total of 17. 17 is unable to hit targets. No damage still.
Lovely. We'll take the shot again.
Okay, going in for the second shot. We have a natural 1 because it's disadvantaged, so I'm taking what's worse. Natural 1 fires off. It's just a bad miss. But you're firing from too long of range, and you yeet off.
I am struggling out here today. I will bonus action crossbow expert for the third shot.
Okay, let's see if we can get some good numbers here.
Nope.
That is not going to hit either. All 3 of the bolts miss. One of which is just kind of zing. The other 2 hit into the kind of shoulder pad. You're trying to find a weak spot within the armor, and you're unable.
All right, I will end my turn there.
All right, ending your turn there. Lucar, you're up next.
I have no idea what I'm going to do. Looking around, I hear there's an invisible bat. I blindfold myself, close my eyes, and attune note like Mr. Miyagi. I'm just kidding. Fuck. I also have no idea where Thanos went.
Nope. Gotta put a bell on him.
Yeah, so I would definitely not cross this trench without anybody else with me. Kind of looking around, I think I'd just step over here to this this bastard. Finish it off.
Okay. So, going across to that one, no real flank can be provided, so it's just kind of coming through the straight roll. Looks like you chose not to expend your Bardic Inspiration die. 13, unable to land as you come swinging through. Come across with the second strike. 30 is going to connect. Now getting a better kind of swing the blade. You just kind of miss. You come back around. Let that kind of roar. Try to roar outwards, striking through the creature, dealing 16 points of slashing damage. Hitting into the side of the ribs. Sends it to the right direction. Smashes down a pile of bones.
Okay, and then I'm going to finish my movement, just taking kind of one more step back towards the trench and looking around frantically.
All right, Maldor, you're up next.
Oh boy! All right, splinters and dust, and all the soldiers are dead. We need to kill these big things. He's going to try and help the commander and take out this guy.
26 is going to land. As you do, you come across 18 points of slashing damage, slicing into its right leg. Begins to groan and yell outwards.
Do it again.
Come across with the axe, 14. Lands into the shield. Kind of bashes the shield, bashes your axe back.
Exactly what I wanted, but he's going to move around behind him. And then bonus action, summon the Echo over here. And that will end his turn.
Ending turn, Tegan, you're up next.
So, just a poll for the party. Do I do something really stupid, or do I play it safe?
I mean, these are the moments where stupid comes into play, right?
Yeah, go for it if you want to.
Alright.
Be my hero, Tegan!
Tegan's gonna look back at the fighting behind the wall. Tegan's gonna look at the tree. He's gonna look back at the fighting. He's gonna look at the trees. Just say, fuck! And he's gonna jump off the wall.
Break his ankle.
All right.
The same kind of like sliding down.
Yeah, kind of slide down, pick yourself. Are you are you going to move down the wall a little bit before you do that, or are you going to let the zombie get an attack with you? Okay, down there. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, no attack of opportunity then, because there is a zombie right next to you. Dashing wall.
I forgot that thing still existed. We should name it.
Right.
Carl!
Little Carl going up the wall.
I'm just gonna dash for now. Yeah.
Okay.
Did I go
was
the
us?
wrong way?
I accidentally went back 5 earlier, but I think I still...
Yeah, you still you move 10 feet to get down from the wall, so that is actually accurate. Let me measure your distance here.
Sounds good.
So you moved 10 feet, and then from there, so it's a total of 55 feet you've gone. You have 5 feet more if you're taking damage.
Then I'm going to action surge. I'll say to myself, you got this, you got this, you got this, but I won't give myself bardic inspiration.
Okay. So if you are aiming to move, you have 5 feet additional of movement left. If you want to get further forward, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So go ahead and move yourself 5 feet.
Should I have re-rolled Twilight hit points at the beginning or end of my turn or something?
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll. It's at the end of your turn, so go ahead and roll for me a d6, and then we'll add the cleric bubble.
I have 4 currently, I think.
Yeah, so whichever one is higher up. So, wow, that's awesome. So we have 5 to the roll there, and then you're going to add 7 to that, so it's a total of 12 now. I'm going to change it to 12 for you. Temporary hit points is really hard to add. You have to manually do it for
Right.
character. So I'll do it for you. No worries. All right, we're going to now come to the commander. The commander is going to pick themselves upwards, and then, using half their movement, they're then going to begin to take their attacks upon the creature. Fortunately, can't get the flank off because of the tree there. Natural 1, swing wildly after slipping upon the mud. They then are going to maintain their balance. Not today! Goes in for the second strike. After the natural 1, 26 is going to land.
Shit.
Deals 7 points of slashing damage. And then begins to yell outwards, "For the Templars!" Ah! 24 hits and deals 6 points of slashing damage, but the creature is still alive, swaying side to side. Come back, man! Yells outwards, yelling at the horrendous creature. Then begins to yell the command outwards, seeing the tree and all the soldiers killed. Get to the wall! Use the wall as cover! Quickly! Begins to yell outwards at Priest Dumbly and the rest of the soldiers that are around to take cover as fast as possible.
I would
All right.
like to point out that one of the crossbowmen that Maldor trained did more damage than the captain.
Wow. So much hate for Commander Rebar Luda. So much hate.
I haven't
right.
said anything about the commander.
So we're now going to come to the soldiers, and I went
Very
ahead and
soul.
combined the soldiers. At this point, there is actually only one on the field of play. 2 on the field of play that are on the Draconic side. So those 2 are going to go. So we're now going to have a soldier moving just clean to the wall, no crossbow available. So they're going to take themselves into a dodge. So all they're going to do right now is cling to the side here and then take the dodge action, courtesy of the orders given by Commander Luna. And then the other one is going to take their swing at the shadowy folk here and see if they can get a hit off here. That is going to hit their battle axe, and they do a meager 2 points of damage. They only do 2 points of damage. They then are going to move 10 feet, and then they kind of begin to make a decision. Do I go or do I not? Right? Because they don't want to be attacked if they run away, so I'm going to roll a dice. And they're going to stay in their position because they are blessed by Priest Dumbly, and the aura is emanating of their trusting Priest Dumbly to kind of keep with them and not want to take attack opportunity. All right, Mangonel time. Mangonel is loaded, and it is ready to go. As such, nice. I'm going to see if I can get this thing to work with the HUD. I think it will, but I'm going to try. Yeah, it's not going to work with the HUD.
Quick, Varus. Catch the boulder on fire.
Because it is a 0 hit HP. It's a vehicle, so I'm going to have to do this manually from the character sheet. It's saying it's incapacitated as well. That's why I won't do it, so I got to put a hit point to it. I wonder what module is doing that. It's incapacitated. Oh well. And then it's going to fire in the direction of the tree. And I'm just going to get it sent outwards. It's probably not going to automatically roll the save, so I'm going to have to do that manually. And the creature has failed the save, and it takes a total of 24 total points of bludgeoning damage as the boulder smashes into it.
And melee dice.
It takes the blow, and it seems relatively unfazed. And those soldiers begin to get that back. We're now going to end Commander and the soldiers and the Mangonels, and we'll... Hey, I'm moving faster. Look at that. We now come to Priest Dumbly Goldbelly. Upon that, at the start of the turns, if I recall correctly, the Aura of Life, it's going to regain 1. So those ones on the ground, those Dwarven soldiers, are going to get 1 hit point that aren't crushed by the tree on the south end. And then Priest Dumbly is going to take a strike, ending the Sanctuary at one of the creatures, which is the shadowy lizard folk. 22 is going to hit the shadowy lizard folk. And that deals a total of... Oh, no! Oh, it's enough. Okay. Another modifier. So a total of 7 points of damage, rushing into that creature and destroying them. All the shadowy lizard folks are now dead. And Priest Dumbly, with me! Quickly! Take cover! Begins to move towards the tree, using that as kind of the cover, and looks towards the Dwarven soldiers. Run away! Run away! Towards the south. Priest Dumbly ends their turn, taking their action and their movement. And the soldiers to the south are going to use their half their movement to pick themselves up, and then they're going to move with disengages as they're beginning to use the tree on that specific side of the tree, and they're kind of crouching themselves, shoveling by you, Maldor. So they're kind of coming between you and the tree. They're kind of using that as like cover at this point from the creatures behind them, as well as to the east. The other 3 dwarfs are going to kind of run up in the direction of the tree, so they're going to use all of their movements here as dashes, and then another one is going to use the staircase as their dash to get in cover of the staircase. So they're all kind of moving in position to get as much cover as possible and not taking any sort of combat at this point, so they're just focusing on taking dashes to get to cover on that side. Now we come to the Dwarven soldiers on the north side, which is in the middle of the battlefield, Flameskull and Phoenix. We have a total of 6 soldiers here. They are now going to avoid the moonbeam as best as possible, and they're going to go for a series of strikes, replacing their positions for the strikes because they can. So I'm actually going to be able to do all successive here of 6 with their battle axes. 3 are able to hit. And they deal a total of 14 points of damage, which is enough to kill the creature. They come across in unison, working together. Some are putting their shields down for others to kind of hop up a little bit and strike down, really working on in unison with their tactics, very dwarvish-esque style, as they form themselves together and attack. They then are going to begin to run with their movement speeds in the direction of the trench. So they're all kind of forming themselves up together, and they're kind of all running as fast as they can to get towards the trench. I don't know if your orb protection works. I realized I didn't change that to the new one, just FYI, so we'll see. And they begin to run to take cover as fast as possible as they're running. That is going to be the end of the dwarfs' turns. We're now going to come to the undead figures. We only have one zombie who's... what do we name it?
Carl.
Carl, the
little
man.
Carl.
Yeah.
Carl.
All right, here we go.
Carl's the new team mascot.
Carl.
All right, everyone can see Carl now.
Yeah, all right. He's become a friendly NPC.
Carl's a friendly. Carl's just gonna literally. I'm not gonna narrate anymore. Carl's just gonna literally keep doing this for the rest of the combat.
That explains it. You can't fucking find the entrance.
Yeah, he can't see shit, bro. The two hulking figures, unfortunately for you, Maldor, they are now going to almost combine upon you. Unfortunately for you, so that you're going to be attacked. In addition, your Echo is going to take an attack potentially from the skeleton creature. But fortunately for you, the one that is very wounded on your north side is still in the focus of the commander, so no flank is being provided at that time. I'm now going to go ahead and roll for the attacks you're going to take from the two hulking figures to your south side. I'm going to pause it. Stops that noise, I've realized. Your AC is 20 here, and only one of the strikes are able to get through and strike you. You take a total of 24 total points of damage as it comes through, smashing through that temporary and then bashing into your flesh. We're then going to come to the skeleton. The skeleton is going to attempt to attack the Echo for 2 successive strikes, and if it kills the first one, it's going to move, so I'm going to roll them out now. Your Echo's AC is 17. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Okay. It is going to need to get the gore out, so it's successful to get the gore. I believe I just got to make sure the gore damage is accurate. It's significantly different than the others. I think regardless of what damage it's going to roll, the Echo's going to die. So it takes 17 points as it's raked across, and the Echo, I'm going to go ahead and delete it for you, vanishes from sight. It then is going to continue its movement, looking towards the dwarf.
Did something else delete, or am I just seeing things?
I deleted the Echo.
Yeah, no, I thought I saw something else disappear. Maybe I was just, I don't know.
Did something? I don't think anything else deleted.
I thought maybe an NPC poofed, but I could be imagining things.
No, it was just the Echo, and then he moved his guy at the same time that he deleted the Echo.
Maybe that's what it was.
Okay. Yeah, everything's good on my end. I see everything, so. Now we're going to come to the Commander Remar Luna. I'm also going to roll the temporary for the Commander at this point, based on them being wounded and them being inside of the Sanctuary. So I'm going to give them 8 temporary, and then they're going to take 2 strikes from the hulking figure.
I will reaction attack that.
Okay, go ahead.
We do not have flank currently.
You do not have flank currently, based on positionings with the tree. You can't get the flank off on the back end of the creature. But you will be able to take the reaction after the first attack. And the first attack is a miss, which means you might be able to kill it, and it won't be able to get off a second attack. 18 is going to hit, and you come swinging across 19 total points of damage. And we're going to see if it gets back up again. Okay, and it does. As you come across, swing wildly at it, cutting into its back right leg. It just rises up once more, and it is able to get the second strike off, but is unable to get through Commander Remar Luna's AC of 21. It bashes into the shield, pinning them into the wall, but they are alive and well, taking no damage whatsoever. We have no more hulking figures to negotiate, because the 4 that are on either the 2 on the south side of the tree and the 2 on the north side of the tree are pretty much inactive at this point. They're holding the chains. They do not also have morning stars, and they also do not have shields, but they do have black plate armor, so the AC is somewhat accurate. They're just kind of holding the chains, which are these large things, and they kind of seem very zombified at that point in the shadow of the fog. Thanos, since you continue to fire your bolts, you see the heavily armored figure begin to point and look in the direction of you, and just smile very briefly as it throws out a spell. Okay, you have failed your saving throw with the 10, I believe. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't believe we get to see that roll on my end anymore. So that's kind of interesting, but I get to see it on the order here. So I just want to make sure that that's accurate. So 10 is going to be a failure. You are held. You are put in a state of paralysis and freeze solid. Unfortunately, you are invisible still. That does not end with your held. And as that happens, you see the heavily unfigured motion in your direction for the bat. As that happens, you can feel the cusp of the bat grabbing against you. And if we go into the held state, it's like a paralysis that is done to you. And anything that comes at you, you're automatically going to fail the strength or dexterity saving throws. Unfortunately, that is a grapple as well. So you will automatically fail that as it grapples you. It does not take flight with you, however. You're just kind of wrapped up into the shroud of its energy, showcasing it's not really physical. It's kind of more of this magical manifestation of its claws wrapping around you. And it kind of begins to grab and just kind of covers you a little bit. And telepathically, you hear a voice.
It'll be all right, little one. We'll just put you back in the cocoon, and you'll grow into something new.
It just sounds so weird on many levels.
Fear begins to wrap around you that perhaps this might be your last moment before this creature takes you away.
This is going great, guys.
We now come to the tree, which is what we've all been waiting for. The tree is going to shift its movement, moving 5 feet just slightly closer and to the right, then picks up another tree. As it does, it looks in the direction of the dwarfs that are charging forward to get cover in the direction of the trench. As such, it eats a tree.
Uh-oh.
I don't want to click this.
You're gonna have to. Or it's
You got
gonna
Bardic
automatically do it.
Inspiration.
Oh.
Yeah, you've held it.
Okay, so going through the saving throws, it does not matter if whatever you rolled at this point, Lucar. This is a massive amounts of damage. I'm seeing that you have some temporary HP as well. Now I'm going to assign the damage automatically. Lucar, you are alive. Oof. As the tree came through and crashed on top of you, you have taken the less of the damage in. 86 points of damage. You were able to succeed on the saving throw. The 20 is what I have here. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead. It looks like it prompted me for a concentration check. Did it come through on your end?
Yeah, it did. I was just trying to figure out. So concentration is like half the damage, so I'm trying to figure out whether to add the bardic.
Concentration is not. That's to maintain your shield of faith, was what the roll was for.
Yeah, but doesn't it have to be greater than half the damage I take? Isn't that how that works?
ZC, yeah.
Yeah.
And how much damage did I take?
Your DC, because you're going to have a 86 in total damage. So you took a total of 43, but the 43 is not the full damage because you had temporary HP. So the DC
Also, wasn't... he also halved it, right? Because he saved?
Oh, I just
that, yeah, because it's automation. So I have an automated roll, but I'm giving him a chance to roll himself.
Also, you get to keep it because I'm unfailing inspiration.
Yeah, it's unfailing. So the automation took over because it takes over after a certain amount of seconds. I still allow players even after that to continue, right, if they want to roll it. This is really for if players are like AWOL, they're not here right now, or if I'm controlling them, I need it to be automated, or we'll have to wait literally a second, So your Constitution saving throw of 18 is actually going to be successful on your concentration. The DC was set forth was 15 because it does not count temporary hit points into the DC factor. It's only
Got
the
it.
hit points lost after the fact. So you had such a high level of temporary hit points that it reduced that damage dealt from 43 to less. Then we take the half of that number, and that was a total of 15.
Got it.
Now, I'm thinking in my head, maybe 6 plus 7, 13. So you probably had full temporary HP, and then we took the 13 from that, which would make it 30. Then we half 30 to 15, right? Real numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you had to expend your Bardic Inspiration but you do have Unfailing Inspiration, so it is immediately put back onto you. So I'll apply that condition. So it is back there. The unfortunate part about this is that you are restrained. Okay, there is no saving throw that you have for this condition. This is part of being underneath the brambles of the tree. So you are restrained. You need to make essentially an athletics check, some sort of strength check to be able to get out from underneath this tree, and that is going to be your action to do so. You're unable to move. You're pinned down by the tree.
Fucking dwarves.
Does not mean you're prone. The best way that I can state this is that you're like in the brambles of the branches, right? You took less of it because it kind of formed around you a little bit more, but you still have to take your strength to kind of break out of what's around you to try to get out of it. So that is going to be the end of the tree's turn. We then are now going to cycle through to the start of round 10. But I'm now going to have it paused because at the start of round 10 means that we will have conditions and effects that last a minute. They're going to end at the end of your turns. So just be aware that if you have conditions and effects, those are going to end now at the end of the turn. Varys, you're up.
I'm gonna run over here by the staircase first. Be like, Maldor, what do we do?
We have to clear the mangonel, then push out. Keep
So
to cover.
When I hear him say that, I will. Hold on. I will firebolt the near death.
Okay. All right, 18 is going to land. That deals 15 points of fire damage, and the creature does not get up, dies outright.
All right, and then he said take cover, so I'm doing that and taking cover.
Okay. Hopping down, taking cover. Sounds good. At the end of your turn, you can go ahead and roll a d6 for me, please. All right, you are brought 9 temporary hit points from being inside of the shroud, and we're ending your turn. Zeph, we now come to you.
Oh boy. Well, I'm already, since it's not needed, I'm ending the, Moonbeam.
Okay.
Where is it? I'm going to heal Maldor with 5 trappers.
Wow, life transference. Okay, so 16 back to Meldor.
Yeah, didn't take up mine.
Restrained for some reason on it.
Which, I don't know how temp HP would play into this. I don't think it does.
Temp HP is not going to have any play into this.
Yeah.
At all. It's interesting.
Hey, 32 HP, that's pretty good.
Status counters. Having a problem. Note of my little
pretty nice.
Status counters. Changing health. Okay. So we're gonna put you. You're at 46 right now, right? So we're gonna get you up 16.
47, yeah.
Talking about Maldor.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
16 to you, Maldor, and then we're now gonna subtract 16 from your total health pool. So I'm gonna actually go to your character sheet for this. So we take 16 away from you, right?
Yeah.
And it would be 32 to Maldor.
Yeah.
It's twice the number of necrotic damage he takes.
32, so I'll put another 16 on.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
I don't actually see life transfer.
It even says in the spells description, you take this much damage, which can't be reduced anyway, so I assume temp HP it would fall into that.
Yeah, I don't think temporary HP can be impacted.
Yeah.
This is light, bro. I love when I have my windows open in the morning. I love natural light, though. Jeez, it's crazy. All right, let's turn that down. Let's try one more. I'm a little too bright. Okay, one more down. Cool. Okay, so you life transference, setting out your kind of spirit, kind of shoot out from your body. Necrotic begins to bleed around you, and as such, it begins to pour in the direction of Maldor. I do want to actually see something real quick about the spell, because I'm really curious. See, that you're resistant to necrotic because of the Aura of Life.
Oh. But it does specifically say it can't be reduced
can't
in any way.
Reduced in any way. Yeah, I know. It's such a good synergy, though. That's too cool. Okay. Yeah, too overpowered. Right. Too overpowered. I'm meta right now. No, okay. No, too overpowered. All right.
That would be sweet, though, if that did work.
So sweet. So sweet. Like a necro build like that? That'd be nuts.
Oh, man. That would be stupid.
You throw out the life transference, begin to send outwards the shrouds. You begin to bleed necrotic upon yourself, pouring healing back into Maldor. Maldor, you are, at this point, fully recovered from your wounds. They've healed from the life force that Zeph has put towards you.
Yeah. And plus, I think best case scenario, even if my resistance did take effect, I would just half how much he heals.
Which would be bad,
Yeah. So, anyway, I'm going to attack this big guy with my spiritual weapon with my bonus.
Okay. Come across for a meaty swing. 22 is going to hit. That deals 12 points of force damage as you bash into the back end of its back.
I'm going to back up a little bit. Oop, a little too much. Alright. There we go.
Alright, ending turn. Looks like we had just a random error come up. I wonder if it's from being held and also being invisible at the same time. Probably. Alright, Thanos, you are up. There's nothing you can do on your turn, unfortunately, except to repeat the wisdom saving throw.
All the money on this.
Is it wisdom save? It is wisdom save.
Yeah, I believe it is.
Nice.
All right, 19. You have succeeded in the wisdom save. Unfortunately, you are still grappled. I'm going to go ahead and end that whole person success.
I just wish I knew what was going on over
it's
here.
Like this just like massive invisible fight. Lucar,
it just looked like
next.
the tree's grabbing something on the ground.
That's not the tree, though. That's the issue. It's an invisible bat.
This is invisible bat is grabbing an invisible
It's even worse.
Yeah. It's really worse. It's so bad. Lucar, you're up next. All right, 22 with your athletics is going to be successful, and you are able to get out of the restraints. You're able to move your token freely as you want.
I'm gonna go over to Tegan and just grumble under my breath, looking miserable. And is a potion bonus or full action?
Potion is a bonus for you, and it's action to give to others.
Okay, so I'm gonna also drink a potion of healing.
Yeah, I don't know how it's set into the Argon HUD for the inventory, but
Argon has it in action.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
I can also hit you with a cure wounds on my turn.
Don't you have a huge life pool with your lay on hands?
Yeah,
Right,
but that's
32
A
regard.
for emergencies. B takes a full action.
Yeah.
All right, you chug
See,
a potion,
you could just try not
swinging it
getting
down.
hit by a tree.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna be like kneeling here, trying to catch my breath after getting hit by a fucking tree and laying out a string of curse words.
Okay, so you stand next to Tegan on the open battlefield, chugging a potion and muttering curse words. Anything else?
I love how you made y'all a convenient target.
No.
All right, ending your turn there. Valdor.
Dum, 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 dum.
This is problematic. So I can traverse the tree. It's just like difficult terrain.
It is difficult terrain. That's correct. That's exactly when you see a tree in a wilderness fell, and you're kind of trying to climb over it.
So he's gonna. Not sure how the dancing works here, but he's trying to stay in range of both the big guys, but move to the other side of the tree. So.
Okay, that's 20 feet, and you're kind of in the crux of the tree. You have cover from the bottom left side.
Okay.
So the
Good.
creature there.
All right, he's gonna attack that one.
Okay. Coming across for your first strike, 13 is unable to land as you swing. Bashes into the heavily armored figure. One more strike coming through, 17 able to connect. As you swing, you're able. So what's happening? 25 total points of damage as you swing into the center of its abdomen, crushing through some of the armor.
And then bonus action, he will resummon the echo.
All right.
And then I need to roll HP
That's correct.
for Twilight.
Go ahead and roll a d6 and we'll add 7. Alright, so a total of 10 temporary HP coming to you. Okay.
Nice. And that will end his turn.
Alright, ending turn. Tegan, you're up.
Alright, I'm just gonna like see Lucar sprint up to me, not really paying attention, kind of focused on what I was going to do. I just look up at him and go, "Holy fuck, buddy, you good?"
Grumble, grumble, curse words.
I'm gonna pat him
It'd
on
be
the
funny if he actually said that.
I'm gonna pat him on the shoulder and give him a cure wounds.
Okay.
Beautiful rolls today.
Your cure wounds.
Massive 13 healing. Very
And
genuine.
then I'm gonna say, buddy, you might want to get some cover.
Yeah, you do.
And I'm going to slide into the trench and just go into the fetal position.
Okay.
Watch out for the bat!
Sliding in the trench. You don't need to go prone. Once you're at the base of the trench, you have total cover from the figures there. Unfortunately, the tree is so large, it can still
It's just
see
like
you.
looking at you.
But it can't get a tree to land in that space.
So it throws it like a spear.
If it has to throw it and try to hit into the trench, but you have so many palisaded things around that are also still anchored that you feel fairly safe if it attempted to throw a tree at you. I think the biggest fear you would have is the crushing of the tree and you being stuck inside of a muddy ditch and not being able to get out, rather than the damage itself.
True.
Be safe though for a while.
Just play dead at that point.
Play dead.
Like
Yeah.
3 hours later, I walk out. Guys,
You're like a bullfrog digging yourself into the mud, trying to hide into it.
It's just
Or
another
it's
form
like-
of getting
it's
eaten,
like a
Tegan,
World War
except this time
II.
it's a trench that eats you.
Yeah, it's like in World War II when a soldier has a panic attack and just like, ah!
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go ahead and end your turn there. All right, we'll come to the commander here. The commander is now going to step forward away from the wall, but continue to move themselves in space that's pretty relevant of the total cover. So they're really kind of leaving, unfortunately, the shroud and getting towards where they imagine is a decent sight line blocker with a lot of rubble and things to be able to continue the onslaught of attacks. The unfortunate issue with this is because the tree is in play. They're not able to get a flank on the creature, but they're still able to get the 3 swings going here. So they come in for the first. Battle Axe 12 is going to miss. Comes across for the second. 16 is going to hit. That deals a total of 11 points of slashing damage. Then is going to go in for the third swing. And that deals 21 is going to hit, and that deals 9 points of slashing damage. It's across 3 swings to hit, slicing in the back left of its leg, and it draws the attention of the creature, which is something that's somewhat helpful at that point, right? Getting another fighter involved, putting the attention away. Commander begins to continue to yell outwards to brace the wall, competitive as that. The soldiers that we have in play here, we have 2 of which. One is going to take a dash, getting around the tree, getting towards the edge of the wall. The other one is going to maintain their dodge and continue to pin themselves to the wall, courtesy of the commander's orders, and then is going to end turn. Upon the end of the turn, we're now going to come to the Mangonel. The Mangonel is going to eat out another round, so I'm just going to fire it off for the animation. But there's no way to really target that tree. So I'm going to manually roll the save. And it fails. Such it takes 35 total points of bludgeoning damage. Takes the blast of the Mangonel to begin to recharge reload it, I should say, get it operating. Now, pretty stubbornly, Goldbelly continues to tell people to get towards the wall using the tree. Now forms themselves to the edge of the wall. Breathes really profusely and is looking around at what is happening. Continues to yell towards the dwarfs to get towards the wall as quickly as possible. Ending turn, we now come to the dwarfs. The dwarfs are doing as such, so some of them just going to go ahead and move them. Others are going over the tree at this point, taking their dashes. Others that are in attack range are now going to take their disengages as they are all beginning to look in the direction of the creatures, putting themselves at the backs towards the wall to get total cover away from this thing eating another tree at them. Unfortunately, there are no other dwarfs. The other dwarfs are crushed and dead. So now we're really working through the turn orders here. Not a lot left. I'm going to go ahead and have it paused now. We're now going to come to the hulking figures here. So Maldor, you are going to be attacked by one of them to start off with. So I'm going to roll that for you. Both of those are going to miss. The skeleton creature is going to attack the Echo. The Echo is hit by the gore, and as such is going to die through that. But unfortunately, that was its second attack to do so. So no attack from the Skeletanoid comes your way. I'm not going to delete the Echo quite yet. Really no reason to do that right now. And then the commander is going to be attacked twice by the older hulking figure.
I will reaction attack that.
Okay, you can. The commander is hit by both of the strikes. Uh, 14 is not going to land after using the reactionary to swing. At its backside, the tree kind of gets into the way. The commander takes a total of 33 total points of damage.
Ouch.
From the successive of both strikes, slamming the commander with the Morningstar. Alright, that is going to be it for the hulking creatures. The other 4 are continuing to maintain their chains and just moving in position that's relative to the tree. They're kind of keeping themselves with the tree, so I'm just going to make that relevant in their positions.
Is the tree moving, or is he standing still?
The tree has moved.
Okay.
He moved once, yeah.
Yeah, it has moved twice, actually. It's just so large, you can't really see it moving.
Tell.
Yeah,
it's moving like 5 feet at a time. So
yeah,
far.
it's like moving 5 feet at a time, and you can't really tell. So the creatures are really just kind of staying underneath it to the top sides, the bottom sides, and they're just kind of carrying the chains, and they're not pulling the tree. The tree is moving of its own accord. Now, before we get to the tree and to the kind of figure, right, so we now come to...
I'm being spoken to by an invisible creature.
I know where he is now, though, because it zoomed in on him.
Yeah. We know you're there.
Yeah. So, as we come to Thanos here, what happens is the creature begins to take flight with you, grapple. Okay.
That's fine. I have a cloak.
As it begins to take flight with you grappled, it moves extremely fast. Its flight speed is upwards of 120 with a dash. But you are actually going to be carted off of the map currently.
Oh my god.
In its flight. I'm not going to adjust any of the token elevations. I'm not going to adjust your token. I'm just going to put you over there and just have you kind of showcase very loosely.
This is so rare.
Picked up and flown. The creature's not very high up in its elevation. It's still using the trees and kind of going through the canopies of the trees, right?
And we have no idea.
And you have no idea that none of you have any idea that Thanos has just been literally picked up by a invisible man.
Man, Thanos, your character's like the worst for us.
I feel like your dread ambusher shit has only been a detriment to you as to this point in the campaign. Because every time you need us, you're invisible, and there's nothing we can do about it.
I mean, I'm fine. I just have to break out of this grapple, and I'll fly back.
Taking the axe points in the direction of the Magadel. Tree picks up
No.
another tree, and as
That's
such,
my 17th. No.
begins.
I just spelled tree.
Dispel tree. Counter tree.
Counter tree.
Oh god.
I'll use my staff to cast counter spell. No.
The Magadel is
Imagine if you had a
hit.
fireball.
It's crushed downwards and broken apart. It's completely unusable at this point. So both Mangonels are completely unusable because the other ones were trampled by the hulking figures. There's only 4 of the soldiers that remain around it that were unharmed by the tree. That is going to bring us...
How many of them are 17th regiments?
The ones with the
there was only one
crossbows
left.
are 17th regiment.
So literally all of them? Well, they're all crossbows. I can't tell.
Oh yeah, they do. I thought I put so. Yeah, so the ones on the bottom sides are 17th.
So one?
One or two.
Two are left.
Too.
Two.
Okay.
All right, they're still kicking.
Still kicking.
All right. So
All right, before we get to your here, I'm gonna have it paused because we now come to the round 11, which means that the Twilight Sanctuary has
Yeah, I took
ended.
that.
So there's no more Twilight Sanctuary, no more temporary are going to be provided. The rules
if
are
you
loosely
have temp, does it stay?
it's loosely translated in a way that it's not very. I mean, I'm not very confident to rule either way, so I'm going to probably give you the benefit of the doubt. Because it doesn't state that the temporary HPs are like taken away when it ends. It also doesn't state that they're still provided. So I'm going to go ahead and keep them on for the benefit of all of you. I usually rule in favor of players. So,
Okay.
all right, your turn.
I'm gonna shuffle. Can I see them from here, or is the staircase blocking my view on like Maldor and the other hulking figures?
That is a solid stone staircase. There's no way to get underneath it. So your view is blocked of those 3 targets that are down there.
I'm gonna shift back onto the staircase,
You can see them.
and then you know my favorite cantrip, firebolt them again.
Firebolt away.
It's gonna tickling whispers.
Yeah, there we go.
You're rolling better than I am.
All right, 22 is going to hit. That deals 12
Nice.
points of fire damage. It takes the blow and falls back slightly.
That'll be my turn.
All right, ending turn. We now come to Zeph.
Let's see the visual weapon.
Oh, well, can I just
Oh.
move back to the cover? Because I
can.
I forgot
That's
about that.
You're good.
Okay. And then, yeah, that'll be it for me.
Alright, spiritual weapon. See if you can do your thing.
Spiritual weapon goes smackety smack. And unfortunately,
yeah,
spiritual weapon unable.
Such a disappointment you are, spiritual weapon. Alright. I'll give it a go.
That spiritual weapon has has feelings, dude. Has a hit point.
I hope so.
All right, the creature is going to fail. It takes 19 points of necrotic damage, and it
Nice.
does die outright. And topples backwards as his head explodes.
And I go up more. And so let's say right there.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So now ending turn. We now come to Thanos. Thanos, you are being flown away. You're flying very quickly, about 30 feet from the ground. This thing is just eating you.
Can
No pressure.
Can I like feel anything to break this grapple? Like, can I make an athletics check? Is there a way to do that, or do I just need to?
No,
shoot
you
it
can. Yeah,
blindly?
it's exactly like it would be to break a grapple. Just know you fall towards the ground. Takes an action to do so.
How high are you?
30 feet.
So,
you're gonna eat it. It's not like you have a round to like fall.
So for the cloak of the bat, is it an action to grab the sides of the cloak? Like if I was to fall, would I just be able to grab the cloak since we're off in Narnia in the dark?
Off in Narnia, we've gone through the wardrobe.
Nice.
Because it doesn't say that it's an action; it just says that you can grab the edges of the cloak and have a fly
grab.
speed.
In terms of ruling, you can. It's a free action because it's based on essentially interacting with an object.
Right.
Okay.
Cool.
So then
Sweet.
yes, I will make an athletics check to try to break the grapple and fail. At least.
Maybe
See
we
you
get
next
lucky. He's
week,
got a
buddy.
roll.
Well, I have advantage.
No, I clicked twice. 12 does not beat a 14.
Oof,
Oh no!
She's that bardic inspiration.
So
that
your
you've been
action
holding,
has
man.
been spent. Anything for bonus and for movement? Well, no movement available
Sweet.
for bonus.
No movement available.
A wiggle.
Could
I
you
will.
still turn into a bat even though you're being grabbed?
Yeah, but then you'd be a small creature.
Yeah, but then I'm just tiny. That
Crushed
doesn't help me
even
at
more.
all.
He could butterfingers
nope.
it, right?
But you couldn't teleport out of the grapple?
So about that teleport thing, it only has so many charges, and those are gone. So that will be the end of my turn.
All right, Thanos, you go further and further away. Lucar, you're up.
Okay, so I dash. Well, not really. Just go up behind Tegan here in the hole. What up, Foxhole buddy? And then I'm gonna cast Divine Sense to see if I can find this invisible fucking bat that I got interrupted by a tree.
All right, so you fling out your divine sense. As you begin to scan the battlefield, you do not sense the bat or the creature 60 feet from you. So it's a
As I
60
do
foot-
so, I tell Tegan like that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to find this invisible bat. But apparently,
Oh, you're trying to find a bat, huh? How about fucking fighting the tree?
it's an invisible bat. And Thanos, I don't know.
The tree's not invisible, Lucar.
Yeah,
I love
have
how
to
they're
be
fighting.
close. I have
I
to
like
be
how they're-
close to kill things.
I'm about to do something real stupid. Real
What?
stupid.
Why do
YOLO.
you keep saying this?
Leroy Jenkins,
He's gonna let the tree eat him.
I'm with you. Yeah, and that's it.
All right, Lucar takes cover into the foxhole. Ending turn. Elder, you're up next.
All right. Well, we need to clean this up. And he's gonna take a step this way. Can we now flank?
That is correct.
Great Weapon Master is going on.
That's a bold move.
3 and a 7.
I mean,
There it is.
Does not land. Into the arm.
You sons of
Blade
bitches had to talk.
back. You had to say shit.
It's all right.
I believe.
Second attack comes through. 15. Does not land.
What is this?
We really
You
need to get that
people
plus
did this.
1 and plus 2 on that.
You people did this.
You
we need to get that
people.
plus 2
They're
on there.
not even that bad of rolls. They're just not.
I rolled a
they're not-
12. Yeah.
They're heavily armored, so it's tough.
35 damage is gone.
And bonus action, he would have resummoned the echo in the same place, so I'll just leave it there.
That's fine.
Yeah, that'll end his turn. I'll let
Alright, ending
the
turn,
commander
Tegan.
actually hit.
Alright.
All right, what's up, Deuce?
Oh, I didn't realize that actually rolled.
No,
I
you
was
raised your
typing.
hand.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
you hit. Yeah,
So
hand
if
raise.
I hit H to type, that raises. That was weird.
It does. Oh wow.
That's dumb.
Now
So
we're
if I type and I put an H in chat.
typing into
It raises
the
my
into the
hand.
game chat or to Discord.
Yeah, into the game chat.
Just on the canvas, really.
Mine didn't.
Yeah, let me see if that happens to me.
Is it just
Oh,
it
yeah.
starts with H?
If you have the chat when a chat focus, it doesn't do it. But
Oh,
That's so weird.
So, Tegan's gonna saunter
There's
his
some-
happy ass out of the trench. He's gonna walk
learning
forward.
new toys.
Tegan's out of the trench running.
He's gonna look at the commander and go, "Hey, buddy!" And he's gonna begin to use unsettling words, and then he's going to take one step back. Fuck you! And then cast hypnotic pattern.
All right, so you're going to drop concentration of the other hypnotic pattern in favor of the new one. Yeah. Okay.
Oh god, what about those zombies?
We're gonna get swarmed. Watch the commander dies. He gets turned.
Does that not get the tree in it too?
It gets the tree.
Okay, and the commander has the minus bardic inspiration.
All right. Well, we've added some zombies to the mix.
We should
No,
name
they
those
just
ones
weird.
too.
Wait, unsettling words.
I'm gonna
here.
take out my frustrations on them because I can actually hit them.
You sure?
He's gonna crit and hit him for like 75 damage with a
Yeah,
single blow.
yeah.
Waste all the damage. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Y'all need to learn Fireball, man. I don't have enough spell slots for this shit.
Yeah. Just get more spell slots.
I'm not even in
Level
this fight
up.
anymore.
Study harder.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, the fucking commander saved.
All right. So with an 8 on the unsettling words, the commander, which you've stated, has indeed failed, as well as the tree. However, they are immune to the charmed condition.
Brad.
They're unable
The
to
mu-
fail to hypnotic.
I heard that.
The
so
commander is immune?
The commander and
Yeah.
the tree are immune to charm.
But they're still incapacitated for a turn at least,
Fell
right?
into the condition. So the way that it states in hypnotic pattern, so each creature in the area who sees the pattern must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature becomes charmed for the duration. While charmed by this spell, the creature is incapacitated and has a speed of 0. The spell ends for an affected creature if it takes any damage, or if someone else uses an action to shake the creature out of its stupor. The issue is that the charm gives it to the incapacitation, which is why the spell is clearly, it's very powerful. A lot of people use this spell, but it is completely ineffective against creatures that are immune to charm. That's why this does not work on these two creatures.
And as Tegan sees that the commander is just standing there looking at him, he's gonna say, "Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, I fucked up again. I'm sorry, Maldor, I'm sorry!"
Maldor can't hear you.
Maldor's like on the other side of the world from you right
I love how Maldor is like his god. He's like, please, Maldor.
Maldor is always the one that tells Tegan to stop being a fucking idiot in combat. And
Maldor is the party zaddy.
The party daddy.
Just imagine though, because
No,
Tegan doesn't know where Thanos is. Tegan could have just done that to Thanos. Like I could just be standing
In
there
your
drooling
turn,
for all
Tegan.
Just sitting there.
Tegan taking 5 minutes. What the hell? I'm scared. All right, we come to the commander. The commander is going to take the advantage here with the axe swinging at the hulking figure. 19 is going to connect, deals a total of 10 points of slashing damage. Then is going to go for the successive 2 other strikes, 22 hits, and that deals 9 points of slashing damage. And then is going to go for the 3rd and final strike. Such 12 is going to be a miss. Is then going to kind of pull themselves away from the creatures, just like kind of 5 feet. Now kind of turning their body in position of the zombies, which are beginning to move as such. We now come to the soldiers. We have 2 soldiers that are along the wall. They make no attempts. They continue to do their dodges. They make no attempts. They don't have any crossbows available here. So they just cling to the wall, taking the commander's orders, allowing you to kill the hulking figures down here. And they're very scared. They're kind of paralyzed in that view. Now we're going to end. We have no Mangonel available, so we come directly to Priest Dumbly Goldbelly. Looks around. So dwarves, with me. Begins to move. Runs up, then looks at one of the dwarven soldiers, and is then going to use a spell here, targeting one of the dwarven soldiers, throwing out a Cure Wounds, healing them for 12 HP, and then is going to use the remainder of their movement speed, 25 feet total, to get to there. We're now going to come to the dwarfs. We have many different dwarfs here, and the dwarfs are now going to kind of cling themselves to the edge and then begin to press forward. Taking their dashes to do so, they begin to run into the aid. Others, not so much. They can get their swings off. So they're beginning to fill in space. And I'm going to have them run through the backside of the ripple. 3 attacks can be made. 2 attacks can be made. They're available. Roll the attacks first. Only one of those hits and deals a total of 4 points of damage to the hulking armored figure as they now begin to move themselves into range. That is going to be the end of Priest Dumbly Goldbelly's turn. And now we're going to come to the hulking figure, which continues to attack in presence. It goes in for one swing at the commander and then one swing at the dwarf. Swing on the commander misses. The one dwarf on the south side is crushed into the ground for a total of 26 points of damage. Go for it.
I will technically sentinel attack the first attack.
Oh!
Okay. We will see then if the dwarf rolls 51 points of damage.
Holy!
That is no more, and I'm going to make sure the dwarf is still alive.
I've got you.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you do it.
Skeletanoid is going to attack the Echo. The Echo is hit with the first attack and then kills it. I won't roll damage. And then the Skeletanoid is going to move 5 feet towards the south and point in your direction for the second strike, which is the gore, which is unable to penetrate through your arms.
Maldor's never felt more at home.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to have, at the end of this, the soldiers on the north side. I'm not going to... I left them off of the kind of thing. What they're going to do is just take their dashes and get the fuck out. So they're essentially going to get it towards the wall and take total cover. So they're just taking dashes, getting towards the wall to take the cover as best as possible. All right, what do we got in play so far here? Okay, so now we're going to come to the hulking figures with the chains. They drop the chains, one of which, after the commander looks in the direction, bumps into taking its action to awake the one in front, thereby ending your hypnotic pattern completely, so no targets are now affected. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and end the conditions here. And then that one is going to take its full movement speed, so 20, and then stride over the commander, moving an additional 20, so 40 feet total to your both direction, Tegan and Lucaris. So now they drop the chains, and they are all three of them are going to take their dashes or just their movements here as they begin to charge forward at your direction. The tree is then going to continue its rotation, this time moving greatly further than before. It picks up another tree, rips it from the ground. As such, begins to throw and lob it at the direction of Maldor and Kine on the south end. Not caring at all, and have it pause so we have no more ticking. Not caring at all of hitting allies or anything. It's just going to throw it in a direction. As such, takes it and lobs it, forms in that angle, and then hits first and then crashes down forward.
I suppose there's cover bonus for the other tree. There's a lot of trees.
Trees stacked onto trees. We'll get to that. Okay. Oh man, that ticking. I'm going to turn that off. Okay. So the Skeletanoid is completely smashed. It's gone. The Dwarven soldiers are cleaved into the tree and die. We now come to the Commander Rimar Luna, who is able to succeed on the saving throw and takes the brunt of 40 total points of damage. And then, Maldor, you have succeeded on the roll with a 15. And as such, you're going to half 80 to 40 and then half that again to 20 because you are taking cover with the other tree. But you are, along with the commander, both of you are restrained by this condition. So you're now restrained in the brambles of this.
God, this tree's too far away.
So you are kind of like,
anything.
You're next to in the brambles of a tree, and then a tree's kind of come up, and so it didn't do total damage because it hit into that tree and rolled off a little bit, right? So the tree next to you took a lot of the damage from that blast, and so you're kind of able to maintain. But now you're caught in the brambles of the branches and other things. We are now going to go ahead and come to the top of round 12. But we are going to end the session at this point. We have reached and concluded our time, and we are at a good stopping point at the top of round 12, as shit is getting absolutely real. Spells are exhausted, our features are exhausted, the tree still up alive and well, the commander figure still up alive and well, 4 of the hulking figures coming towards 2 isolated party members in a trench, soldiers, dwarfs are dead. It's not looking pretty. The commander, if you stumble, you're still alive. It's great. Both Magnet Mills are unoperable. If you're watching the recording, appreciate that. Thanks so much for the ill-fated here as they navigate the Siege of Fort Feren, and we'll pass on to the third session with our conclusion of the Siege of Fort Feren on the next session, which hopefully will be most likely streamed. That would be awesome. So, anyways, everyone can say goodbye at this point.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. I'll have a new character for next.
Right. Literally goodbye to Thanos.